virtually. Online में वैसे भी मुझे इतना मजा आता ही नहीं है. So when the whole group of these educators, you can just imagine what a the richest event that would be, because so many teachers and educators who are full with ideas and energy would gather on a platform which would not be virtual. So, ma'am, next year if you're having any such event wherein everybody is pulling in, do count on me. It will be a pleasure, and I'll definitely come over for the event.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you so much. On behalf of Thai Association and everybody, all the educators around, I really extend my heartiest gratitude to whatever you've mentioned. And definitely, Purvi ma'am, you are on our list, on the top of our list, because I've attended your session and still that session is on my mind. And I'm sure these educators today are going to have a gala time today learning with you.
Yes, I hope I am as per everybody's expectations.
Yeah. So, Purvi ma'am, I will introduce Jalpa and Bhumi ma'am then will take the show forward and then you can begin your session.
Ma'am, is
So
Bhumi ma'am?
yeah, she's coming in, Jalpa. You can start and by that time she'll be joining in.
Okay, okay.
Good evening, Purvi ma'am. Pooja here.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Was all well, ma'am. I'm just come from the school. It is got late, but quickly attended your session. मैं तो थोड़ा miss out भी नहीं करूँ. I was just on time. I'm not on in my video.
Yeah, Jalpa, you can start. It's already 4, so we'll start on time.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Asha, ma'am. Hello and good evening to all. Welcome you all on this wonderful platform of TTLF 2021. Myself, Dr. Jalpa Trivedi, co-host of today's session, Joint Secretary of TAI, committee member of ECA. And yes, I am very much proud that I am an educator for last 18 years. Before moving ahead, I would like to share something about TAI. TAI is a team of ignited educators. TAI Association was formed with an idea of bring all teachers, owners, school heads, trustees of Bhavnagar on one common platform. TAI offers a comprehensive knowledge base to teachers with its various events with best of speakers at the doorsteps of Bhavnagar. Even the most competent educators are benefiting from TAI events. Like we all, जैसे हम सभी भावनगर टीचर्स ये टाई के प्लेटफॉर्म से के माध्यम से हम बहुत कुछ हमें सीखने को मिलता है, जैसे टीचिंग लर्निंग मेथड्स, टीचर लर्निंग टेक्निक्स है, हाउ टू मैनेज विद स्टूडेंट, हाउ टू डिसिप्लिन स्टूडेंट्स, ये सब हमें ये टाई के माध्यम से स्पीकर से जानने को मिलता है और हम अपने टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस को बहुत ही अच्छे से बेहतर बना सकते हैं, सक्सेसफुल बना सकते हैं. टाई ने अभी जस्ट 6 मार्च उसने 6 इयर्स कंप्लीट किए हैं. उसके सेलिब्रेशन के लिए हम ये पूरा इवेंट है वो कर रहे हैं. टाई भावनगर के टीचर्स के बिना, उसके सपोर्ट के बिना, उसके इन्वॉल्वमेंट के बिना ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं था कि हम टाई को ये 6 इयर्स इतना सक्सेसफुली बना सकते हैं. सो थैंक यू ऑल द भावनगर टीचर्स फॉर गिविंग अस योर सपोर्ट. एंड यस, thank you dear Harsha ma'am for your continuous efforts, dedication and devotion towards TAI. So ma'am, thank you so much Harsha ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Jalpa, for such a beautiful introduction. I will hand over to Pooja to introduce the speaker for today, Dr. Purvi Kothari. Over to you, Pooja.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And actually, as I said, I have just come, ma'am. So I'm not be that presentable, but I'm so lucky that again I've got this privilege to introduce one of the most inspiring women I have come across in my life. So when I have the reader's profile, the speaker's profile in my hand, But here I'm not going to look at a paper. I'm going to speak all the words from my heart. So Dr. Purvi Kothari, she is a counselor, the Orator Hub. She's a motivating students for extempore, and she's a motivational speaker. She's a HOD in the KP College of Surat City. So, ma'am, and I have known her personally, so I would say that she's a very kind and a humble person. And when you listen to her, I'm damn sure that you are going to forget everything. You just keep on listening to her. So, ma'am, we welcome you on this platform, a TIE platform. And it is really our privilege that we are listening to you and we are going to have a power-packed session today. So I will not take much of time. Over to you, Purvi ma'am. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Once again, many, many congratulations. It's 6 years complete and many years ahead to go. One thing which I need to compliment is I always thought that people of Bhavnagar are very sweet-hearted and sweet-tongued. But let me tell you, the enthusiasm, the spirit with which you all work is commendable. I'm highly impressed because whomsoever I meet from Bhavnagar has a spark, the energy levels are only very, very different. So I'm very happy that I'm being able to connect with you all teachers, and congratulations for doing such a grand event. Well, Pooja ma'am, it was very kind of you. I have worked with you, and the office wherein you are seeing that we are sitting, this is an office which I and Pooja ma'am have shared for a number of
So
years.
I'm just remembering those moments where I was sitting and where I was used to be in that office. And almost tears in my eyes and missed you very much, ma'am. And I'm glad that you are here in front of me and I'm going to listen to you once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So a very warm welcome to all the teachers, all the educators. And we are going to talk today on a topic which is very close to everybody's heart. Nani ho, dadi ho, chachi ho, teacher ho, mama ho, everybody can connect so well when we are talking about storytelling. Let me tell you, it happened once that in an aeroplane which was flying very high, an American, a Frenchman, a Swiss person, and an Indian all were flying at a very high altitude. Achanak se, the Frenchman dropped down a bottle of wine and said, "Arey wine, हमारे देश में तो बहुत मिलती है." He let go the bottle of wine. Now the Swiss man thought, I also need to show off. So he just opened the little bit of window and he put down all the Swiss chocolates and said, "Oh, हमारे देश में तो ये बहुत मिलती है. We don't value it." Now the turn came of the American, and the American thought, what should I do? He just opened up the window a little. He put down his shoes and he said, हमारे देश में तो ये बहुत मिलते हैं. Now the Indian was in a puzzle. What should I do to look really as if I'm boasting about something? तो सोचा फिर उसके पास थी एक book. He just opened the window, dropped down the book and said, "Oh, हमारे देश में तो ये इतनी सारी मिलती है. We don't value them." Right from the epics to the fundamental books to the scientific books to everything, हमारे पास तो इतनी है. We don't value them. On that note, I really felt that this is the pathetic scenario in India that we have. एक खजाना है. It is basically, we have a world of book, or I would say the origin of every book, every episode, every series is what has taken birth in India. तो यहाँ से होता है the importance of books in India. Somewhere we are lost because whatever we have in excess, we hardly value it. And that is why I really like this topic, which was art of storytelling, because the storytelling topic also comes somewhere from the books that we have. We all educators belong to different grades wherein we have a different connect with children, right from the toddlers, to the school going ones, to the ones whom we are nurturing as youth. And that is why somewhere or the other, books are always connected with us. The art of storytelling. Harsha ma'am, I would like if you parallelly just please start on the presentation so that everybody can have a look at it, please.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
So this is the art of storytelling. From books comes out a magical world which we teachers need to understand, realize, and get into certain technicalities also. So in this flow, wherein I'm going to tell you or take you, I'm going to take you to a very important phase. We will begin with what is importance of storytelling, usme content kya hota hai. Then we are going to cover certain technicalities that if you want to improvise over your storytelling abilities, what are the different styles in which you can narrate? What are those little minute technical things which you should keep in mind? After that, I'm going to talk about our role as a parent, as a teacher, and how we can teach or we can imbibe many virtues or many thoughts in the minds of these saplings through a very short story. Sometimes the stories can also be spontaneous and extempore. So, friends, let us enjoy this relay wherein I'm going to begin with the importance of storytelling. Now, as you can see on the screen, a छोटी सी story. But what is the crux or the core content of the story? The content is very important. Every story revolves around something which is very basic. I call that a seed. Because when you want to tell a story, what are you telling the story for? What is your aim? What is your purpose? What is your goal? With that goal, I call that as the seed, as the core around which the content evolves. So basically, you need to understand that why are you narrating a story? Are you trying to interest a child? Are you trying to impress a child? Are you trying to convey a message? Are you trying to puzzle his mind and make him think over? Are you igniting his thought process? Are you trying to relate it to history? Take him back to those days, which might seem very boring, yet you want to make it very interesting. So I count the content as the core. Let us not forget that the delivery point wherein you're starting your delivery needs to have a basic motto and aim. So if you're dealing with a child which is in the play group, then your content should have core ideas like which should be very simple, very basic. Because you are not trying to impress the child, you're trying to connect with the child. If I would count that you are in school, when you are a school teacher, you would like to deliver it in a way that the child finds it impressive, interesting, as well as conveys a message. But if you're dealing with the youth, then I would count content takes away the whole cake. Because those children need to listen to something which makes sense. Let me repeat and tell again. Today, even a small child will find out if you're not making sense. So, the content is the core. We need to find out the audience and accordingly cater to them. And here is the beginning part of storytelling, that is the content creation. Look to the targeted audience and then deliver. Also, when you're trying to tell a story, it is very necessary that in between you connect to the past. You can bring in certain incidents or you can bring in certain historic events. When I'm meaning historic, I'm even meaning gods and goddesses, references, relevance all together, and then make that an impactful package. So thoda sa history bhi leke aao beech mein. Often you must have seen that whenever people are just narrating on stage or telling something, an episode, or they are just speaking on some topic, they will always relate कि रामायण के जमाने में या महाभारत में ऐसा हुआ था या चाणक्य नीति में ऐसा हुआ था. So this is reference which you're giving to past history, which is very, very important. Storytelling also involves experience. It's an expertise. I say it's an art. The more you practice, the better you perform. So teachers start practicing from today. It's an art. Along with an art, it is a science. I say science because there are certain technicalities which you should keep in mind. I'm very sure subconsciously we all are very good storytellers. हम तो हर रोज बातें बनाते ही हैं और हमारा काम है वो बातें बनाना जो बच्चों को स्ट्राइक कर जाए और इनको दिल को छू जाए. So we all know the technicalities, but still a little bit improvisation we will do today. Having said that, I'm saying again, storytelling is an art. It is a science as well as it was a profession once upon a time. Dating back into the history, we had storytellers. People who used to go from village to tell stories, and these stories were not only fantasy, or they were not only some charmers, or they were not just to dil behnane ke liye. They used to really carry the legacy of history, because at that time people were not good at writing scriptures. So these storytellers used to carry on from generation to generation those experiences which would be conveyed to the new generation. Storytelling is also important for marketing. Even when you see those half a minute or few seconds of that advertisement on the television, there'll be a small story inside, right? Which is going to touch your heart. So storytelling can be used as a marketing tool also. It's impactful as a means of communication. If I will just put across my thought in simple terms, you will not be able to relate it. But if I will tell you a small story, the communication becomes very, very impactful. An element of emotion is also there in a story. So often when children come to me for oratory skills, when we prepare them for Times of India national speaking contest, one thing is always missing, and that is the emotional part. Statistics you're going to get from Google, internet. Story, somewhere you might have heard, somebody might have told you, but when you inject some emotions in the story, then it becomes to a next level. So the emotional quotient which is being put in every story is something which will set you apart. Well, you can share your thoughts, your creativity, everything through storytelling. So this is the importance, how storytelling has its own unique place as far as educators are concerned, as far as anybody who is trying to be on the platform, trying to be a public figure. For everybody, storytelling is very important. On that note, teachers, let me tell you today, what I'm expecting is that if you look back to me, at the end of the slides, I'm going to put down that having done big lectures for the youth and writing down certain books for the youth, the base lies in writing down stories. Khud ki stories likhe. They are your original thought process. A small story which is very, very simple, very, very basic, and has a small moral which is understandable. Do not doubt your writing abilities. You are all just superb. हम teachers हैं ना, इसका मतलब ये है कि we are magicians. We can do anything in the world. And when we can do anything in the world, we can definitely write down our own stories, right? So make small stories, short stories with a moral, and give yourself a name. Like how my storybooks carry my name, Purvi Kotharika. It is Poo Ko, the storyteller. You all are equally storytellers. On that note, teachers, and we will like to go on the next slide. That is the storyteller, wherein they way back in the ancient times, I have just put in a picture that this used to be a bearded man, dhoti kurte mein. He used to travel from village to village sharing the stories, and it used to be a profession. They used to earn their living out of it. So storytelling is a big profession. Harsha ma'am, we can go to the fourth slide, that is 8 classical techniques of storytelling. I'm very sorry, Harsha ma'am, I'm bothering you.
No, that's okay. Now is the
But
slide
that,
visible?
ma'am, on the fourth slide, I would like you to roll.
Just a moment. Let me share the screen again. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely, absolutely. So, teachers, I'm very sure that we all are classic storytellers, but thodi si technicalities, if we will know, I think we will be able to upgrade somewhere or the other. Now, these classical techniques of storytelling will begin from the very first one, that is monomyth. This is a genre. I would say these are different genres of storytelling. Yahan pe, in this storytelling, it is known as the hero's journey. You know, when there is a main character, and during the olden times, definitely, who was the hero, who was the main character, it always used to be a male member. So, in a monomyth, normally you find that in folk tales and our historical writings, wherein the hero leaves the house and passes through a very difficult journey and achieves very high. So this pattern of storytelling which I'm telling you, जहाँ पे एक hero होता है जरूर से, let me tell you, this is very traditional, right? So this monomyth can be a pattern. If I'm talking about storytelling, or if I'm talking about majority of the epics also, if you date back, and let me again quote, if we date back to Ramayana or Mahabharata, the hero gets more of limelight. Definitely. The goddess, the heroine will get a role. But ये सारे monomyth होते थे. Even today, when you see the projections, the male character, his whole journey is scripted. You can also do this in a traditional format wherein there is one central figure, and that figure is supposed to outperform. So story may you can pick up that figure, and that figure is going to do all the magic. He's going to have a very difficult life, and thereafter he's going to emerge like a phoenix bird from ashes, and then he's going to make it big and achieve high. This is known as a monomyth. The second technique of storytelling is the mountain trail. This everybody will be able to relate to, because this is like the tension which is, and the drama which happens in a TV serial episode. Every episode has that big curve, you know. Kahin na kahin, they'll take you to a very difficult, complex situation, and they will take you down also. Again, in the next 1-2 episode, you will find that, you know, they just bring in one topic, एक टेंशन, एक ड्रामा का, धीरे 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 हाइप अप करके they will take it up, धीरे धीरे they will bring it down. After few episodes, again, you inject in another topic, and you create that mountain base. Now, this is a regular way of storytelling, because we find this very easily in our television shows and dramas. The third style, which I'm talking about, is the nested loop style. Now, as you see the whole nest, right? Basic from the core, there are different layers in this story. So sometimes it is that the core content is at the base in between, and there are 2-3 stories which are revolving around that story. For example, I would take the story of Akbar and Birbal, right? So if I'm trying to convey a very strong message about wisdom or something, I will try to pick up a conversation between Akbar and Birbal. उसके बाद I can weave in another story wherein I'm including Akbar के दरबार के 9 रत्न. Then I'm picking up another story wherein I'm trying to build in a high-profile life of King Akbar, how he emerged as an epitome, being a Muslim ruler. Now this is a nest too, right? एक लेयर के बाद दूसरा लेयर खुलता है, दूसरे लेयर के बाद तीसरा लेयर खुलता है. This type of storytelling is also very, very common, and we find that when we jump from one to another, then this is normally basically the style. The fourth one is the spark lines. In every story that you are telling, there has to be highlighted points. These highlighted points are like the glittering sparks. So normally the speeches and everything that are being judged in between are those spark lines. What we tell the taglines, जैसे punch lines होती है. When we pick up any advertisement also, there are punch lines which stick into your mind. These are those spark lines. So we as teachers can pick up some spark lines and take my word. Once you develop this own spark lines, then children remember you for these lines and these words forever. Like I say in my classes, right? In my finance lecture, if I say that deficiency of one vitamin can never be compensated, and that is deficiency of vitamin M. And what is M? Money, money, money. You will not believe that after 25 years also children mind that and they say, ma'am, money, money, money. So these are the spark lines. With these spark lines in the story, you can repeatedly use them. They become your identity. Whenever you will narrate anything, whenever you will speak, the children will pick up those lines and they will connect with you. In between these spark lines, you can pick up certain very common problems like in the society, your personal lives, anywhere, and you can connect with them. The fifth style is in media res. That means begin in the heat of the action. This is like, parda faad ke jaise, the whole hero comes out. It does happen at times that people lose interest. If the sessions are very prolonged, after 1-2 hours, then when you want to narrate something or grab anybody's attention, you will begin very offbeat. You will begin with a drama. And that is known as in media, right? So the action part first you are showing, like the promo which you will show. In media res is something like, before the episode, we see the pre-cap and the recap, right? This is so that you stay connected.
Hello.
Apna interest bana rehta hai.
Hello.
Yes. Am I audible? Is there any problem?
No,
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
go-
Please continue.
Please continue.
Okay. So in media res that I'm talking is basically a method of storytelling wherein you break the barriers, you begin with the heat of the action. It's an offbeat start to grab everybody's attention. The sixth style is the converging ideas. How we converge ideas. That means idea is one only, but it comes through cumulative effort. You can do this as an exercise in your class also by giving them a relay and making them say a story. When you converge the ideas, like today, if for a workshop, we are having a central idea as emotions. In this emotions, we are picking up an emotion as hatred. Everybody will weave around stories around that hatred, and we will come to the central point that is converging ideas. So different minds, different ways, but ultimately the actually the what we want to communicate idea that remains the same. You can try this as an exercise in your class if your children are above at a particular level. If they are belonging to grades of primary, secondary, we can begin with that. The most impactful, false start. So when you go on stage, teachers, or when you feel that the energy levels of the audience is drooping down, maybe even the children who are our biggest audience, we all are performers. So if their energy levels are drooping down, begin with a false start, right? So I would always say, if I had to begin with a false start and grab everybody's attention, I would say, I really hate getting up in the morning, 7 o'clock, going on the stage and then performing and then every day, and so boring. And if you really think so, let me tell you, you're absolutely wrong. Because I really love getting up in the morning, getting up fresh with that spark on my face, with well dressed, and to stand on the stage and to talk to everybody. You start with a false story. और ये ड्रामा आपने किस लिए किया? People will really feel, oh my God, she's really not liking. Then you prove yourself wrong. This is the way in which the storytelling becomes very impactful. The eighth and the last method is the petal structure. Certain thoughts or ideas are very difficult to put into the minds, and that is why we use number of stories which will come back to one point only. For example, you pick up any emotion. It is very difficult to explain to everybody about the emotions. So for a number of days, when you weave in different stories, boom fir ke sari stories, when they will come to one theme, one motto, that is the petal structure. So you don't just prepare one story and you leave it. You're going to create different stories. जब तक वो thought बच्चे के मन में बैठ न जाए, you're going to use the petal structure. Well, storytelling or story narrating styles. Now, this is becoming too technical, so just a little bit more technical, I would like to tell you, is historical narrative writing style or storytelling. So when you're telling stories also, you might not have understood or you might not have realized, what styles are you following. When we talk about the narrative style, this narrative style is when you're taking a lot of inceptions or lot of database from the historic events. This is historical narrating where you have very less place to juggle with words and emotions. So if there is a scripture which is written, if there is a story which is written, right? उसमें date of birth, place of birth, everything, actions, deeds, everything is fixed in. तो आपके लिए play करने के लिए, to play with your words, to play as a storyteller is very less and very limited. If I have to write down today anything about Chanakya, it is historical narration because I can put in my thoughts a little bit, पर पहले तो मुझे वो बोलना है कि who was Chanakya, when he was born, what he thought, what he spoke, why he spoke. So this is a narrative style wherein you are binded. Your hands, legs are tied up. Do not juggle a lot over here. Just put in your originality, your views inside, and that becomes historical narration. The second style is the analytical style. Now, this is the style we teachers normally use a lot, wherein we try to put in a lot of logic as per the understanding ability of the child, and thereafter we portray it to them. तो जो grades के बच्चे हमारा audience है, उस हिसाब से we will try to portray it in front of them. The next comes the expository style. This is a total idea wherein you describe and explain elaborately. Like if I have to narrate Cinderella, I can speak for 10 minutes on Cinderella. Her gown like this, her hair like this, so beautiful, so humble at heart, her hands so nimble, so sweet, her smile like this. This is the descriptive style. Come to the persuasive style. The persuasive style is normally the power of convincing, wherein we are trying to convince the audience through storytelling. I don't know whether all teachers, देखो यहाँ पे तो age पूछना भी मना है, but I can just give you a hint of my age by telling that when I was young, we used to have those, small television jingles. एक तितली, अनेक तितलियाँ. Then we used to have certain small videos on family planning. Now, these stories that they used to make were in a way very persuasive. The whole idea was how we can persuade everybody to get over through a thought. Yes, my idea is to control family planning. Yeah, it is Swachhata Abhiyan, yeah, whatever I'm planning over. So for that, to persuade, to convince everybody, I'll put it in a story form. The last one is the argumentative style. Now, this style is a lot supported by facts, figures, statistics, do's and don'ts. Again, you do not have a very big preview to juggle over here. You're just putting facts in front of somebody and you are narrating some story. So these are the different styles which we can use. Well, for every teacher, we teachers are playing the dual role. In the classroom also. So when I say in the classroom, we are parents to those hundreds of children or thousands of children in your school. They look up to you as parents. Plus, when you go back home, you will have your own child. Now, what is the child? The child expecting from you as a parent and as a storyteller? I have seen so many parents giving a lot many slogans, pravachan, big taglines to their children. But the problem which occurs is that when you see, you need to identify as a teacher. You want to be a guru, you want to be a dictator, you want to be a person who's expecting an expectator, or you want to be a friend. Now, the best way to be a friend is by telling stories. So for every teacher who's back home a parent, or even in the school I count, you are the first parent. The child looks up to you. You are the icon. So once in a school, when a child was taught 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And the child went back home and the mother is teaching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The child is saying, you're wrong. My teacher said that one begins from here. It doesn't begin from the thumb. So just imagine your power of influence. We all are iconic. They have more trust on us, and we are the parents. So what is the best way? You want to become friends with them? Connect with them as a storyteller. I remember once I had attended such a session only, and in that I think Swati ma'am quoted that very nicely, very true fact, that Indian parents normally measure their love and quality time by the happiness of the stomach. आज मेरे बेटे ने कितनी रोटियां खाई, and the mother is happy. Today's child doesn't want to know who changed the nappy. The child doesn't want to know who fed 2 rotis. Rather, you'll become the villain if you are going to feed them rotis. But the child will definitely remember the quality time that you spend with the child. Sit with them, read with them. Not only read with them, open up their minds to a level of inquisitiveness wherein they are at a point to ask you a question. Very true. It helps to clear the math concept, all the concepts. But quality time is what we are absolutely giving. I have no doubts for teachers that way back at home also, we give a lot of quality time. It is for us teachers to tell those mothers also whose total focus is on how much the child ate, why the child ate, the child has not eaten today, what the child is doing. Isse acha, at night, sit with the child, sit with a book, right? We have to convey to the parents that not only the magic is done in the school, but the magic equally has to be done by you at home, wherein you should spend quality time. बच्चे को पूरी जिंदगी ये याद रहेगा कि at night my mother used to tell me stories. And these storytelling patterns also shift from time to time. I will tell you, suppose when your babies are too young, you just read out the stories to them, sing a little bit of jingles along, and try to entertain them. As they still grow up, you can ask the child to read a little, right? When they read a little, and you can help them improvise over their reading skills also. As the child still grows up, you can develop their thought process. Give openness to their mind, and you can ask the child, ask me questions. Why aren't you asking me? You read the whole story and there is no doubt in your mind. Open the minds, right? Give them an opportunity to ask questions, and this has to be done by us. Rather, it happens the other way. We do not entertain. We are not open to questions. Let the child ask you anything. If they are not asking you, दिमाग का दरवाजा खटखटाओ, उनको बोलो खिड़की खोलो. Why aren't you having any doubt? Why aren't you asking me a question? Is it that you are not understanding? So as the child grows up, you put them into a position wherein their mind starts developing and they are in a position to develop their own doubts. Right? Still go ahead. When the child grows up, you can ask them to flip with a story. I begin with a story and let us go with a relay. You continue the story. The ball again comes in my court and I take the story ahead. then the ball comes in your court. You take the story ahead. ऐसे करके, once we had carried on the story for 7 nights without an end. Anything that comes into your mind, let us just, so by the time my thought comes, right, my turn, I will give shape to the story in my way. And then I say, now you continue. Now, after the child continues, again, the ball comes in my court. इसमें दोनों का thought process काम करता है. Wonderful. So I'm very sure that everybody must be doing that with their children. And the last stage is wherein you give in a topic. You give in something wherein your child will create a story and tell it to you. If you're not being convinced about a particular thought, right? Ask your child, मुझे समझाओ. Convince me in the best way that you can, and I will accept it. So here comes the art. Your child will also start telling you stories. As teachers or as parents, this storytelling activity, it opens the vistas of your minds, analytical skills, logical reasoning skills, everything will have a window, plus it will detox your mind. मन की बात करना सीखो. When you will help narrate, you will ask them to speak of anything, right? It will, in a way, it's a method of detoxification only. Compose a thought, compose an idea. Ask your child to put it across to you in a way which will persuade you, convince you. So you can be a fantastic storyteller in that way. So as parents, as teachers, you need to understand that this is a detox process. बच्चे के मन में कोई भी डाउट हो, right? Tell them new stories. वो theme पकड़ के, the child will remember the stories forever. So we are storytellers as parents. As we move ahead, now as teachers, this is the magic which is to be done by us. I'm telling you, though we are doing our best, we will definitely upgrade our skills. We will read more, we will write more. You will develop your own writing skills and write your own stories. Plus, you will give yourself a unique identity, like how I give example, Puko the storyteller. Upgrade yourself. You're doing your best. But simultaneously, I want that we teachers convey to the parents, because children remain at home equally. So at home, there should be a bookshelf in the room of the children. भले बच्चा पढ़े नहीं. The book, when you see the book a number of times, it's a different vibration and a different energy. It's a slow process of learning how to accept a book. So tell every parent, room में bookshelf होना ही चाहिए. And what I do in the colleges, I give different schemes to my children. मैं तो schemes और offers ही देती रहती. You go to the library and just sign in the register there. I give you 1 mark. You go to the library, you just sit for 10-15 minutes and you come back, signing in the register as they enter. I give you 2 marks. You enter into the library, you sign in the book, you sit for 10 minutes and pick up any random book, take it home, return it next week. I give you 5 marks. Bole khulna mat. Just take a book, come back home. I'll give you 5 marks. You go to the library next time, sign, sit there for some time, right? Take any random book. Just, you don't want to read, just pick up a book, take it home, but just open the first page or just read the crux on the last page. I'll give you 10 marks for that. पता है धीरे धीरे करके what happens is that when the child does this exercise for a number of times, one fine day the child will open a book and read the book. Marks are not important. It's the culture that we are imbibing or we are weaving in the child. So as teachers, it is your duty to tell the parents, do have a bookshelf in the room. It is not only the duty of the teacher कि school में library होनी चाहिए, school में book होनी चाहिए. The child will see the book every day. One fine day, the child will pick up a book. After a few days, the child might see the first page. उसके बाद the child will see the second page. धीरे धीरे करके the child will develop the habit, a liking towards the book. This is a mindset which we Indians are missing at a very big level. Parents will shell out hundreds and thousands of rupees after a birthday party, after buying materialistic things. But if you ask them to buy 2 storybooks, no, they'll say, अरे ये तो पढ़ी हुई है, ये book तो इसने पढ़ी है, ये story तो उसको मालूम है. Well, I think teachers will agree on that note. So our total investment of the parents would go on material accessories. But if they know one story, they will not pick up another story. It's not about picking up one story or the other story. It's about the different styles of narration, how different styles they have narrated, portrayed, written, what type of pictures are there. We're missing out on that. मेरे बच्चे को तो ये story मालूम है, and they will not buy a story. This is the mindset which we teachers, we are supposed to train not only the children, but the parents, because our first audience is the parents. Children are too young. They are the second holder. They are the subsidiary consumers. The parents are our first consumers. So storytellers, now as teachers, each of the teacher can analyze with me, okay, who are we as storytellers, right? Are you a teacher? So who is a teacher? See, there is a difference between all of them. A teacher, right? You are a teacher, you are a mentor, or you are a guru. What is the difference between that? When I say you are a teacher, I mean you are teaching them only blah, 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 which is from the book. 100% input as your duty bound. That makes you a teacher. Then what are you? As a mentor. As a mentor, you're trying to teach less what is in the books, but open the minds of the children. And who is a guru? At the last stage, a guru is one who will just say, you're supposed to do this. I will show you the way. Do it your way. So we need to find out. Are we just teachers who are giving bookish knowledge, or are we giving extra supplement also? If we are giving that extra supplement, right? Then with that supplement, are we giving them some insights? Are we giving them valuable courage? Are we giving them that outlet wherein go get it? I know you can go get it. That makes you a guru. We are actors as well. Every day in the morning or every day when we go to school, we dress up so well, right? And you know, our children really fall in love with us. Kindergarten children, you know, they are so fond of their teachers. They would wish that when the teacher gives a small huggy, teacher will hold hand. It really makes their day. We are big actors. And when in the college, I sometimes tell some young boy. So if I would just tell somebody, yes, my dear, you look handsome today. My God, it's like the child ke liye to uski zindagi ban gayi. We are actors. As much as we play and we perform, we can get it back from there. Plus, we are magicians. Especially, I would say, the teachers who are performing at the school level, right? Tremendous role. You are the real magicians who are doing the magic and who are sending it ahead. So understand what your role is. Are you only a teacher? Are you a mentor? Are you a guru? Are you an actor? Are you a magician? How can we improvise on this art? When we are telling a story, we have to become a child-like, right? Just like a child, we sit there, right? Doing all the funny things, all the gimmicks, everything, and we tell them. We can also use English or biolinguistic methods to convey a story. I have seen in majority of the places that the parents become very conscious. English. I absolutely agree. Whatever standard of or whatever medium of education is there, it has to remain. But
at a point of time to connect to the child, you can always use English. It's a combination of two languages. Thoda English mein bolo, thoda Hindi mein bolo. I feel in a way it breaks the monotony. Do not stress upon the child to have any language barriers, wherein the child will hesitate to come to you. No, 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 no. If you want to tell me anything, you have to tell me only in English. आधा तो बच्चा वहीं पे रह जाएगा because the child might not find the right words. उसको लगेगा छोड़ो कुछ बताना नहीं. Make the whole thought process very open. Even when you're telling a story, there is no crime in using dual languages, right? English, you need to understand as a medium of instruction, but not beyond that. So, again, it is an art. We dance, we jump. Yes, NEP insists more on mother tongue. Absolutely. And the improvisations which are coming up in the new education policy, we are going to open it up, wherein we're going to make it compulsory till the 6th standard, wherein you will be studying in your mother tongue. So equal justice, equal respect given to all the languages. It is only the mindset, English mein bolo, right? And that too you find so many people might not be that good at English. गलत सिखाते हैं, गलत बुलाते हैं, but the emphasis English में. So as far as storytelling is concerned, we'll put the genre a little different, and we will work on the expressions and emotions in whichever language it comes out. It's an art. I know many of these, you all are too good at this rather than me, use of hands and legs and hand gestures, even these puppet sessions. I have seen it a number of times because I do attend your, I'm a member of EC, and it was my privilege to be there on the stage in Bangalore and everywhere. Very impressive. How you can really connect with all these gimmicks. So hand gestures, actions, these are very, very important. As in art, I would also say that use of little bit of onomatopoeia. You must be doing this, right? Use of different sounds. Some sounds which are really funny, but very necessary, because at a level wherein these children are, they'll be able to connect with the sounds very well. And that is why you can use various sounds. Hoot, oops, quack, quack, duck, right? All these you can use together to make it very emphatic. Moving on, the art of storytelling should have a lot of relevance and reference to our ancient scriptures. I very much underline this because I'm not saying that we have to talk big in Sanskrit and everything. As per the targeted audience, their mental IQ level or their level to absorb, we can tell them stories in a very nice way. But teachers need to give a reference of our Indian scriptures and Indian culture. We fail to do this. I do not find a very wow factor in Cinderella. I feel it is quite hyped up, right? They are good stories. They are good fantasy stories. Having told the child once or twice, Snow White and the Red Rose, Pinocchio, all dreamy fantasy stories. Why can't we connect with real life incidents, right? If we do not put in somebody as very authentic and use big terms and big words and something, we can give in a small name. There are so many nice storybooks wherein you would talk about Lord Krishna, wherein the word is used only as Krish. And then Krish goes and lifts up the whole mountain, wherein Krish goes and plays a small flute with a very nice rhythm, and all the cows go dancing around him. This is not religion biased. You can pick up any religion, but draw stories from there. So in this way, children will be able to connect with our scriptures, with our goddesses, right? And this is known as enriched storytelling. These seeds which we are going to sow at a very young and an early age are going to show magic throughout. So, small stories we need to find out. And we need to portray them in such a way that children remember them forever. on so many topics that you find, no, there are very small, small stories that even God is so humble. God is so humble for Pakadke, you can go back to the scriptures and you can narrate, once upon a time, it happened like this with Lord Ganesha. It happened like this with this person. Children will love hearing that. In a way, they will get connected to our culture, to our tradition, to our history. Again, I'm underlining religion, no bias. You can talk about any God, prophet, you can talk about Jesus, you can talk about anybody. The idea is to convey something real in a very nice way. So when you develop the art, you have to bring in real stories, which I personally underline and I feel of utmost importance. My area of study relates a lot to spirituality also, and that is why for everything I have an incident to quote from Ramayana, from Mahabharata, from any grantha, and that is why I would always relate it like that. Real stories ko pakdo na. It's two things at the same time, right? एक तीर से आप दो निशान लगा रहे. Plus creativity content. The way you deliver is up to you, your creativity. Plus, you have to be spontaneous, looking to the audience, looking to the crowd that you're catering to. You should develop this art. When you're dealing with a sapling, that means dealing with a very tender child, your method has to be very simple. When you're dealing with the youth, like I told you, content is very important. Today's youth is very smart. They're not going to accept anything that you say. कोई भी story इधर उधर की सुना दी. They're not going to accept you. Content लेके आओ. When content will be there, they will love listening to stories. The last thing that I would like to tell is that when this is my personal recipe, make your child fall in love with books. And how do you make the child fall in love with books? See, you can see here in the picture. Even when we are dealing with these small children, no, you just ask the children when they go to the library or when they come with you, just pick up a book and give it a warm, tight hug, right? It's a different vibe. It's a different feeling. Sometimes tell the child to open the book, touch the pages. Sometimes tell the child to smell the pages. You will agree with me, teachers, that books have a different smell. If you're referring to an old book, जब पुरानी हो जाती है ना with yellow pages, just smell those books. They have a fantabulous, unique type of smell. I love going to the library, especially when there are old books, epic books. What a fragrance comes from there. It's a unique fragrance. Make your children feel a book. Make them fall in love with a book. That is very, very true, right? So next time, teachers, I'm sure you must be doing all this. But this is just a revision. This is just a reminder that somewhere if we have lost out certain things, we can upgrade and update ourselves and we can make the children fall in love with the books. Having said that, this is the rooting thoughts, the books that I have written for small children. So after having written books on financial markets and stock markets and mutual funds, these are the books which are very, very close to my heart. Why? I've given them title also rooting thoughts. They are the ones which will root thoughts. So small, small emotions ko pakad ke. Okay, what is our culture? Well, who is God? Right? Of course. See, Jalpa ma'am says she likes the smell of a new book equally. Every book has a smell. Every book has a touch. Every book has a feel. So we as teachers are the first ones who should tell our children to love a book. So when you part also with a book, right? So if I'm handing over my book to somebody, I would very say, this is my priceless possession. 25 साल से ये book ऐसी की ऐसी है. If you will turn the page, on the page, if you make that dog's ear, what do you call when you fold the topmost lines over there? I say if you do the dog's ear on my page, I will. I'll consider it as a crime. So we will feel the book, we will treasure the book, We will cherish the book, and I want each of the teacher who's listening to me, each one has a potential. Each one can write a book. Write your own stories, write your own jingles, and in this way, you can have your own popular ways, and you'll feel a sense of contentment, a sense of accomplishment, wherein you have also contributed something to the generation. So, अच्छी सी book लिखे, get it edited, get it compiled, get it printed, and become an author. Because life of a teacher completes not by reading, not by teaching, but by documenting something which is your idea. So that is the last stage which completes the life of a teacher. You might be knowing number of stories. You have told a number of stories, but have you written a story? If you have not written a story, start writing. That is the final phase of accomplishment as a teacher. Stories likhe, simple stories likhe, create the cartoons, get it printed, and in this way, you can become a storyteller, you can get it documented, and this will give you a total sense of accomplishment. Having said that, teachers, I'm open to the questions that you might have. It was really wonderful talking to you. I hope, I'm absolutely sure that everybody knows everything that we have talked today. But if I have been instrumental in putting in a little bit of content as I underlined, I think I would count that this session has been fruitful and I have been instrumental in a way in which I have served you. So, Harsha ma'am, over to you.
Yes, ma'am, it has really, really been a very insightful session. Personally, I was looking forward to storytelling as one of the best sessions that I would love to hear, because storytelling in itself means that it takes you to the world of fantasy, and you have elaborated and illustrated very well today. Thank you so much, Purvi ma'am. Dr. Purvi Kothari, as Pooja ma'am mentioned in the introduction, that she is an AMCOM Integrated Honors and HOD and Professor of In Charge, Sir KP College of Commerce, Athwala in Surat. Thank you, ma'am. Her experience includes 20 plus years in academic field in teaching the UG and PG students. She is active with SMC in traffic regulation, attached with NGOs, Charlie Trust, member of Early Childhood Association, and she is a member of management committee in Hills Nursery School. The session was really, really very well done, ma'am. I was really impressed. Actually, I would like to quote here before I sum up your session, that we had, when we were young, we had this tradition of gifting storybooks as birthday gifts to our friends, right? But this age, the children have forgotten this. And very recently in Rajkot, there was an incident in our Kshatriya family that along with the dowry, I must not mention that word, but yes, when the girl got married, she was gifted 3,000 books as a wedding gift by her father. So I would say that there are people who still value the importance of books.
Absolutely. When you gift your child a book, you're gifting
Yeah.
a friend for a lifetime.
True. Yeah. You started, ma'am, with importance of books in India, which is a little bit, not under spotlight, maybe due to the gadgetization, maybe due to technology. And yes, we all relent it at some point of time. We are unable to bring books back to spotlight to children when they start growing. At younger years, yes, we still have books for nursery, pre-primary, they still enjoy. You started with what is importance of storytelling, wherein you mentioned that the content, the history, the experience, marketing, communication, emotion, and creativity all matter because they are part and parcel of the storytelling. And I was really amazed with the techniques of storytelling. We had never heard these words, I must say. 8 techniques, that is the monomyth, the mountain, nested loops, spark lines, and my favorite was the false start because that is always a thing that catches attention. The petal structure is also one that preschool teachers use a lot. That is what I have seen. The next segment that you took was story narrating styles. In that was narrative, analytical, expository, and believe me, ma'am, for me also these all words were truly very new, because elaborating different styles of storytelling and giving them these specific names and illustrating each one of them was really very nice. The argumentative style is what we see in children every day, because they keep on having dialogues. Yeah. And my takeaway was the incentives that you said, that they should be given incentive in the form of marks when they go to library. We will surely practice this and put into practice from tomorrow itself. Yeah. And connection to the child is very, very important. I myself also miss this, because my son has also grown, and we used to have these sessions at bedtime stories at night. But as they grow and when they get gadgets with them, yes, there is a little bit of setback in it.
Absolutely.
A teacher can be a mentor, guru, and actor, as you suggest, that when they have to use storytelling as an art of teaching and connection, they have to be the actors also in the life of the child and parent as well. You also concluded with how to tell a story. The teacher has to become a child, has to become bilingual. The teacher has to use gestures and actions for sure. And the sounds onomatopoeia is an, I say, inevitable part that every story, when it comes to small children, must have. And every time you have mentioned that we should bring into our culture our ancient scriptures, and I think you have a special connection to them because you love mythology. That is what we can see and connect to. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. The last line is the gist of all: make the child fall in love with the books. And that is all what we teachers have to do, because even if parents are busy, they are sending us as the children are sent to us as second parents. They come to school as a second home. So this is our responsibility that they fall in love with the books. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Wonderfully.
ma'am, for summing it up. There's one question in the question answer box by Suma. If you can read that out, the second question.
Yeah, I'll do that. It is Bindya Kapoor.
Sure.
No, it's Suma Vivekanand. She says that it is really a challenging job reading from the book that is vanishing day by day, especially with grown-up children. They are addicted to e-books and gadgets. How to bring them to read the printed books? So, Purvi ma'am, if you would like to take this.
Yes, children are very much these days. There used to be a time when children used to practically write down, make notes. Then came the time period of Xerox machines, right? So they would just get everything done photocopied. The same way, today, what is the problem is that these children are having a lot of access to e-books. Even books, when you pick up books, no, पीछे CD होती है. And you can use this. So it is not, basically we cannot stop them, because under the different techniques of study, it is said that listening skills or visual display, they are more eye-catchy, and maybe the retention power of the child is much more when they see or when it is audio or video. But the books that we are talking about, if it is not necessary that the child be used only to those books, if the child is reading e-content, e-book, then we can shift them to a different genre, like in wherein they can read those books in their spare time. Agar study books ke liye, which normally today every youth uses, they see small videos, they see YouTube, they see so many links and everything. But as far as a special place which they hold, right? Like Guinness Book of World Record, unko ye pakadao na. Each year we can invest. It's available for minimum 800, 500, 800 rupees. Each year pick up Guinness Book of World Record. ये तो इसकी तो ई-बुक नहीं आती है. Pick up, see. You will first fall in love with those pictures, and sometimes you will pick up those highlights. अच्छा ऐसा भी होता है, ऐसा भी. Slowly and gradually the child will read the whole book. So what we can do is pick them to another genre wherein these e-books or links or these things are not available. There are many such books wherein the content in it is very unique. certain exceptional things in the world, WAVI factors in the world. Thereafter, geographic books are there. Some competitive and quiz type books are there. Simple GK based, which has very nice MCQ type questions. I have seen so many children who love those books. Just ticking the MCQs, some puzzles, riddle, everything we can use together. So as far as the study part is concerned, definitely the generation is going to switch over. And the COVID period has made everybody so techno savvy and everybody online.
Exactly.
yes.
Second question is related to that only. This Shilpa Patel says this lockdown has taken children away from the books and closer to the gadgets. What tactics do we need to follow to bring them back to the book world?
Don't worry, ma'am. Exams, if you have not taken, then you will not realize. पर अगर किसी ने exams बच्चों की ली है, तो you will understand that it's a total disaster, and parents have also understood. जो अब तक बोल रहे थे ना, India is a backward country, कुछ भी online नहीं है, right? We just took exams and we served them the platter. लो आपके बच्चे online. Everybody has failed. क्या हुआ online का? हम तो अभी बिछड़े हुए नहीं है ना? We offered you online. See technology. What a teacher can offer, what a classroom. Abhi everybody has learned a lesson. Parents will also be happy when children will come to you. They have understood your values. Abhi unko pata chala teacher kaise karti hoegi, right? So definitely they are going to come to the classroom. Definitely they are going to switch on to the books. Rather now the repercussion is कि हमारी value थोड़ी upgrade हो जाएगी. Parents have also understood online चलने वाला है नहीं. The touch of the teacher, the presence of the teacher does the magic, not the book, not the gadget. नहीं तो कितनी लिंक मिलती है, go and see. So everybody has seen, and because of that I feel now our value should increase much more, especially at the college level. If I can just quote it to you, ma'am, the results have been disaster matlab unbelievable. In my whole career of 25 years I have not seen children failing like this. Everybody was sitting and looking at me, तो क्या हुआ? कुछ नहीं. When they sit in the classroom, no, and when they look at me like this, and I say yes, ऐसा मैं करती हूँ ना, everybody sits upright and listens. Now that is the fear that we give. So they learn. As far as cameras go, everybody is looking at you. Everybody is looking at you. दिमाग में कुछ भी नहीं गया. Parents will understand. Let the mark sheets come out.
Yes, very true, ma'am. Even in the lower classes, the technology has been able to keep us above the water. But I must say, when it comes to exam, we all have experienced how these online lectures have been. I think, Harsha ma'am, we have taken all the questions. And okay, there's one more. No, she just says, thank you, ma'am, Shilpa Patel. So with this power-packed session of storytelling, we, from the whole team of TIE, we thank you very much, Dr. Purvi Kothari. It was a very wonderful session having you on screen. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, teachers. I hope I have done justice, little bit of justice to the topic and kept you engaged, and it must be a fruitful session.
A lot.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Purvi ma'am, for such a wonderful session. And I'm putting Jalpa on spotlight to thank Bhumi and you both.
Oh, it's
Okay. Thank you so much, Bhumi ma'am, for giving us your valuable time. And Purvi ma'am, you are really awesome. Your presentation, explanation, expression, and voice of modulation was superb, outstanding, and mind-blowing. Excellent.
Actually, we felt like we were listening to a story.
Yes, exactly. And thank you so much. Thank you so much on behalf of TIE. Now, we will have a session on 17th of March of Miss Grishma ma'am, and she will share about sensorial learning. So we will all meet on 17th of March, same time and same place. Till then, goodbye. Thank you, Vanna.
Thank you so much. Once again, thank you, Purvi ma'am. Thank you, Bhumi ma'am. Thank you, Jalpa ma'am. Thank you, all the delegates, and you will be receiving your e-certificates through the mails that we send. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.